Right Honourable Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all of his government statements and actions?
Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Yes, and especially our action to unleash growth and investment so that we can rebuild the New Zealand economy. Last night, the next stage in the passage of the fast-track approvals bill kicked off critical legislation designed to unshackle investment in infrastructure, renewable energy, housing and a raft of industries that are hungry to grow. We are serious about growth and infrastructure on this side of the House, and Fast Track is a big part of delivering that vision. And it's good to see that we're not alone. It was fantastic to see Labour MP Rachel Boyack give an impassioned speech this morning on one of those projects on the Fast Track list, the Hope Bypass. And so, as I've said many times before, like many of the fellow Labour MPs, if he's serious about the future, don't play politics, support Fast Track.
Supplementary. Why, over a year after cancelling via text message the $551 million order for 2 new inter-island ferries, has the government still not decided what's going to replace them?
Well, I'm very proud that today we announced an incredibly fantastic and credible plan to actually ensure we have a resilient, safe and reliable crossing on the Cook Strait at a reasonable cost. And I'm very proud of the plan that we've got. We've got a great plan, 2 rail-compatible ferries, an opportunity to improve it even further between now and March, and importantly, the new ferries will be operational on time on the 20th-29. And isn't it fantastic to have a new Minister of Rail who's got the expertise? It's not his first rodeo.
Supplementary. So
before
how much...
Before the Right Honourable Mr Hipkins asks his questions, just ask those people down in that sort of centre part of the House there who appear to have better answers than the Prime Minister to perhaps put them in writing and table them in the House rather than just trying to shout them out where no one's listening. Right Honourable Chris Hipkins.
How much will the new inter-island ferries cost? And why wouldn't Nicola Willis share that with the public, given David Seymour seems happy to announce it via Twitter?
What I'd say is it's going to cost a lot less than the $3.2 billion, heading to $4 billion. And maybe for the members' benefit, we could just take him through a bit of the history, because in November 2018, the cost was originally $775 million. 1 year later, November 19, it doubled to $1.4 billion. February 23, it was up at 2.6. And by the time we got to November last year, it was actually $3 billion. And then in July last year, they were told it's actually closing approximately $4 billion. So what I can reassure that member is you won't see the Labour playbook that we've seen on ferries and Dunedin and KO. We're actually going to do it a lot cheaper than that.
True question, Mr Speaker. Will the government's commitment to delivering the new ferries for less than the estimated cost of the IREX project include costs transferred to other parties, such as the port companies, ratepayers and users?
I'd just say to that member, do not worry. We have a fantastic Minister of Rail. He will deliver on time, in full, under budget.
Supplementary question in that case, what does it say about his confidence in Nicola Willis that he's transferred responsibility for rail and the Inter-Islander to Winston Peters, who set up the IREX project that Nicola Willis cancelled, creating this mess in the first place?
Absolutely false. The first thing is the new Minister of Rail signed up to a project at $775 million, not close to $4 billion, because when Labour people get in charge, they don't run the money well and they let it blow out. And I just say we have the best Minister of Finance this country has seen for a very long time.
Supplementary question, Right Honourable Winston Peters.
I think, Prime Minister, for the chance of putting the record straight, is it not a fact that what we're dealing with is a decision on May 2020 for the Crown to allocate $400.1 million to Kiwi Rail to fund the new 2 ferries project when I was the last Minister, and those are the facts that he cannot deny.
Well, I'm just very excited to have that member as our new Minister of Rail. I know his leadership, his experience and his expertise on this subject will be well appreciated.
Well, supplementary. If he's so confident that the new inter-island ferries are going to be such better value for money, why can't he tell New Zealanders 1 year on how much they're going to cost, who's going to build them, when they're going to arrive, whether they're going to be able to have trains on them and what the costs for other users is going to be?
And that member's question just illustrates the economic illiteracy from the other side. Because if you knew anything about forming contracts and getting capital approved, you don't reveal, for commercial sensitivity reasons, the actual budget. That's quite normal commercial practice. But I appreciate nobody on the front bench has actually run stuff, understands how it works. But I just say to you, I'm very confident we're going to get a great project and a great result.
Supplementary question. 1 year after cancelling the order for the previous inter-island ferries, will he now tell the New Zealand public how much the decision to cancel the ferries has cost?
As I said, our budgets are commercially sensitive for the reasons I've just tried to outline to that member. But what I find quite outrageous is the Leader of the Opposition is the arsonist who lights the fire and then criticises the fire brigade for trying to put it out.
Supplementary.
Supplementary question, Chloe Swarbrick.
Is the Prime Minister aware that one of his ministers, Minister Seymour, said on the bridge today that these ferries will not be rail-enabled?
These are ferries that will be rail compatible and they will be delivered at a much cheaper price than the $4 billion that it was heading to.
A point of order, the Honourable David Seymour.
I hesitate to do this, but I don't believe I actually said that, and therefore the member is potentially misleading the House, although I suspect unknowingly.
Sorry, I didn't, for whatever reason, I just couldn't hear what you just said, sorry.
Mr Speaker, I hesitate to raise this, but I don't believe I actually said that, and therefore the member is perhaps unwittingly misleading the House.
Well, I'm not quite sure how we progress here. Chloe Swarbrick, have you in any way misrepresented the statement by David Seymour?
Not that I am aware of, Mr Speaker. More than happy to go away and to check the facts there, but this information has come directly from the Tiles.
That would probably be a good idea and a fair thing.